Hey everyone. Hey y'all. I'm country, so that's how I do. My name is Jamal Malachi, and I'm going to be discussing sexual violence within the Black and Brown community of men. Now, this is a continuation of Catherine Cece Scott's Hurt People series. So let's get into it. So the first question is, why did I want to talk about this mute subject? Well, because I believe that it gets swept underneath the rug. I think it's uncomfortable. And I want by the end of this video, we'll get comfortable with the uncomfortableness. And the number one thing is men hurt. We just show it different. Okay. I personally myself am a victim of sexual violence as well as physical abuse. And I personally will tell you that there's nothing manly about someone taking something from you mentally while stimulating you physically. To be honest, it's scary, it's confusing, it's weird. It's nothing like they make it out in TV. I will say that. And also, there's nothing unmanly about the feelings of pain that you get from the physical abuse aspect of it. So I'm gonna be discussing the sexual violence aspect. So because of culture, TV, how they minimized it or just swept it under the rug, it was very hard for me personally to find an up-to-date version of male victims or the numbers. But what I did find from RAINN.org was that by 1998, 2.78 million men have been abused. And I'm sure that number has skyrocketed by now. We could all agree, right? All right, so let's break that down. Let's use some numbers. So about 3% of American men have either had some attempt or completed rape happen to them. So that's like 1 in 33. So 1 out of 33 people that you know that are male that have experienced some kind of sexual abuse. 1 out of 10 rape victims are male. Let me say that again. 1 out of 10 rape victims are male. From preventviolence.org, they show that 1 out of 71 have either had sexual violence happen to them, and if not, they've had other things happen, such as harassment, peeping, threats. And so the first stigma I want to just shatter is that this is not people that have been incarcerated. This is people that have never, ever, young men and older men that have never, ever been in prison or in jail. So that's the first stigma, that it doesn't all happen inside some closed, dark area. It happens in the communities, it happens in schools, it happens everywhere. For me, I had so many hurdles to overcome because of having sexual contact at such an early age. I didn't have the connection. And so I had the physical, the mechanics of it, but I didn't have the emotional content. And it was hard for me to be the man that I wanted to be in a relationship. How could I trust women with something that I was told was nothing wrong, like it was supposed to happen? So how could I tell them that secret? How could I feel comfortable? And so I knew what to do. I knew how to do it, but I lacked the love and care behind it. And to be honest, I was a heartless machine. And when I say that, I say it with so much humbly, and that was because I was in a bad place. As kings, we have to listen to our queens. And I believe that wholeheartedly. When they speak their truth, we need to listen. But queens, and I love my queens. I have a beautiful queen myself. But what we need is your kindness and your non-judgmental ear, because it's hard to open up. So you're afraid of what your woman will look at you. Will she look at you less than a man? And guess what? The only way that I actually got help was I broke those stigmas down. And I said that wasn't going to control me. And when I realized that, that's when I decided to get help and talk to somebody about it. Now, as kings and queens, we have a habit of fighting each other about what have the hardest parts of life, what goes through the worst thing. And what I want us to know as kings and queens, the common denominator is pain. And we both have it, we just express it differently. Kings, listen to me. Young men, older men, listen. We can't keep these things to ourselves because then we become emotionally handicapped. We can't connect, we can't communicate. And queens, we just need y'all to know that men hurt too. You can check out my my YouTube video, Fayetteville Street Corridor Fellows, and you'll see my first video. And I hope that I made the uncomfortable comfortable, because we need to talk about it. This is something that I'm passionate about. And again, my name is Jamal Malachi, and this is my series on Hurt People, Hurt People.